Hey everyone, Marnix here. Usually on this channel I talk about stuff like how you plan, how you make your scope, do your game design document, with your focus on narrative, on combat, things like that. More of the high level thinking about your game stuff. And in this video I want to scrap all of that and I want to talk about hyper actionable steps that you can take to work on your game. Now, why is this? Well, as you may have seen from a previous video, you can currently send me an email and I'll help you for free with your game or whatever you're working on, whatever advice you need. And something that I noticed that almost all the developers have is they're stuck in just ideating and making ideas, but they're really scared to actually take that step and commit on a non-prototype full game. And I think it's normal because it's a big step and it's very overwhelming. We've had that problem as well. We're starting work on our next game. And at this point, I've nearly wasted 2 weeks where, you're thinking about the ideas and, oh, I could do this, but I never did anything really. I never wrote down like concretely, this is what I'm gonna do. I never started logging like issues on our GitLab board of, okay, we need to actually implement these things and things like that. I missed action is basically what it comes down to. You need to just be able to do stuff. And that is how you get that momentum and you are able to make your game. So in this video, I want to go over some ways, 7 in total, I think, that you can actually like implement things right now. So once you finish this video or whatever, or even during these things, you can even between every part, like pause the video for all I care. And they're very short, very actionable things you can do that will actually have a very good return on the game that you're currently making. If that sounds like something that you could use right now, then let's get into it. I think the first thing you should do as fast as possible, like right now for all I care, stop this video, is you know your game. You have your game genre and you probably know some games that are similar to it. What I want you to do now is go into YouTube and type in the name of your game and then like let's play or playthrough or whatever. And you'll see all of these YouTubers who've made like reviews or let's plays of a similar game as yours before. In our case, we did that for Factory Town, for Satisfactory, for Timberborn, and a whole bunch of other games. And what I want you to do is to create an Excel file where you have the name of the YouTube channel and their email address. So if you go and click on every YouTube channel and then go to their About page, there is a little button that you can reveal their email address. I want you to write that down and put it in the Excel as well, and then maybe like put down how many subscribers they have or something. Make this as fast as possible. This is the core of your influencer marketing. And what we've done, for example, I'll dive into it in like a full marketing video at some point, is we have a Excel that has grown to over 70 YouTubers who all played similar games to Forge Industry, our game. And I reached out to all of them. That was part of our marketing strategy. And I reached out to all of them. I was like, hey, this is our game. This is our short pitch. Here's a code. Do you want to give it a go? And by just sending these emails, we didn't have the budget to pay them or anything. We just sent them out emails with a code and no pressure. If you feel like making a video, do so. If not, no hard feelings. And we've gotten a lot of wish lists and other general like interest into our game. I think out of the 70 plus, not that many responded, or quite a few responded, but not everyone actually ended up playing the game, which is fair. Maybe they just didn't like the game in the end. It was still a bit buggy when we were sending out our builds. No worries. But I think we had about 5 different YouTubers who are all quite big who played the game. And one of them has 14K views, and then a few others have around 1K, 2K views. And this has given us a very good boost in our wish lists and in like how popular our game is. People are starting to know our game. And you need to make that list as fast as possible because 1, YouTube throttles how much like emails you can gather on one day. And 2, this is not something that you can like do in one afternoon because you just find them organically as well, or similar games and things like that. Next up is getting more playtesters. I don't care who it is. Go through your contacts, go through anyone you know, send someone a build of your game right now. Even just send me it. Remember, here, coach me at bitemegames.com. Send me a build of your game right now and get more feedback. The biggest mistake that we did was not having enough feedback of our game actually being good. And I don't want you to go through that same problem. Not having enough feedback on time can be crucial in actually your game ending up being somewhat of a failure. Nobody really likes it, or maybe you still have to refactor a lot of stuff down the line. You want your feedback, even if it's bad, as early as possible so that you don't have to just hate your life and go and scrap like months of work that you've been doing on your game. Just because you were too scared or you were like, oh, I don't really know anyone. Not letting anyone play your game just isn't good for you. Send out that build, and get ready for feedback, and also make sure that you are ready for receiving that feedback as well. Sometimes it hurts a lot. Well, it always hurts usually, because no one is going to be like, this game is awesome from the first get-go. And if they do, well, you're getting the wrong kind of playtesters, I think. So it will always hurt, but just get it over with. It's going to save you a lot of time in the long run. Next up is creating a store page, or if you already have one, go over it again and update it here and there. First of all, if you don't have a store page, you're not really serious, in my opinion, about your project. You don't need to have a fancy thing. You can just have one piece of concept art and just have like release date to be announced or whatever. No problem with that, and just have like a 2-sentence pitch of this is what the game is gonna be. But you want that Steam wishlist. Bite the bullet, pay that $100 Steam direct fee, and have that store page to work on. If you already have a store page, great, but it's probably not that good looking right now. And even if you think it is, when you made it like 2 months ago when you originally launched your game, it has probably, you know, the screenshots have gotten a bit older, you've maybe redone some of the style, maybe you've shifted some of the mechanics. Go through it again and update it. One bonus tip, actually also put GIFs in the description. We were fortunate enough to have our personal Steam store page for Forge Industry be looked over by Chris Sukovsky, who is also the guy from howtomarketagame.com. He's given us a lot of valuable feedback, and one of those things that is quick wins is to add GIFs instead of regular pictures to your Steam page. This really boosts engagement and keeps the players hooked on actually reading the actual content. And it's also a lot more dynamic to show a mechanic in like a short GIF than to just have one picture of it. The next thing I want you to do is to create a demo. Now, you probably won't be able to just make a demo out of thin air in like 5 minutes, but I want you to take the scope of your current game and turn it into a 5 to 15 minute short demo that you can either use at events, to email to possible publishers or other investors, or just to put onto maybe a Steam Next Fest, or just showcase in general, have it as a permanent demo on your store page whilst you're collecting wish lists. This will probably require some thinking work. What are your main mechanics? What are your main stages, for example, that you want to show? You need to really nail them down, and also make it not just a prototype demo, but make it a vertical slice demo. What I mean is polish those 5 to 15 minutes as much as you can. Don't just prototype the entire game and then cut off just the part that you want for the demo. No, actually focus on first making those 5 to 15 minutes, and then only once you've made that vertical slice demo, do the rest of the game. This will give you a much better conversion rate in terms of getting people to play your demo, to actually wishlist it, and in the end also buy it. Next up, similar to your store page a bit, go through your UI. Go through your main menu and update it. Just like your store page, your main menu is something that you usually make right at the beginning, or like some of the windows of your UI, and then you forget it. And you're getting so used to it because you're always playtesting your game that you don't realize how ugly it actually is and how unusable it is. Just go through it. You know, there's plenty of like asset packs, both free and paid if you have the budget for it, on the asset stores. I know for Unity for a fact, but probably also Unreal and things like that. Unless it's part of your art style, don't bother with completely custom making all of your UI elements. If you're making like, you know, the very cozy pixel art games, sure, then go for your own custom art. But anything else, use a pre-made asset. It's gonna save you so much time, and it's also gonna make it look so much better than you could ever possibly make on your own. If you're working in prefabs in Unity, if we're gonna go a bit more technical, it's very easy to just like take a button and put an image on it and be done. So it doesn't take a lot of time to just update a bit of how the UI looks, but it has dramatic effects in how great your game actually looks and feels. And again, this is one of those things that you want to polish up to get into that vertical slice that I just mentioned. Next up, maybe you're like, well, actually regarding the demo, I don't have 5 to 15 minutes of content yet. Well, this one's just for you. And it's also for everyone else who does have the demo. Make a trailer. Doesn't have to be good. I don't care. Worst case, you just record like 1 minute of your screen record whilst you play your game, and upload that to YouTube, upload that to Reddit, share it on like the game dev subreddits, share it on 9gag, I don't know, share it on Twitter. Put it somewhere. Put it out there and get feedback again. See if people are actually interested in what you're doing. You can go really fancy into making a trailer, but that's not really what I want to go into. If you want to learn more about making trailers, there's a YouTuber called Derek Lieu who focuses just on making trailers, also on game trailers. He has a lot of more advanced stuff, but these are trailers that take a lot of time to actually make. I'm talking more about a trailer that you can put on your Steam page to show off your gameplay a bit, put on YouTube to like get first impressions, or just share with the rest of the world what you're working on. This will also keep you a bit more accountable, because now you've shared your creation with the world, And it's a bit harder to be like, I'm gonna just scrap this project and do something else. And then lastly, if you've done all of these steps, well, there's only one more thing to do. If you haven't done that today, open up Unity, open up your engine, open up Godot, I don't care, and work on your game. Doesn't have to be much, 5 minutes. Either update the UI, as I said, or just work on making a little bit more of a mechanic you've been working on, create some more level designs, things like that. Or if you're doing Blender and stuff like that, make some props, do some drawing, do something. The most important thing you need to do when making your game is to keep momentum. Don't be like, oh, I only work on games in the weekends, because it's gonna be really hard to keep getting that motivation every weekend to work on your game. Instead, do like 5 minutes every day, ideally a bit more of course, but always do something every single day. That's what made us keep going strong for 18 months, is because we never had any lulls. I've never had a period where I didn't really work on the game. Even when I was feeling down and I didn't want to finish the game and I thought it was horrible and nobody would ever like it, if you didn't spend those 5 minutes now working on the game, then nobody is gonna like it. That's correct. But if you keep working on it, you will do it. So you can skip this outro that I'm gonna say right now and go and work on the game. I prefer that. If not, well, hi, I'm Marnix. We make game dev content around here. We talk about our own released game, Forge Industry, and how we've been working on it. We go to game dev events and we make videos about that. So, for example, the Belgian Game Awards, or when we go to conventions such as Gamescom, which is upcoming in August. And we also make videos like these, generally providing advice for game devs. If that's something that you're interested in and you're still watching this, go ahead and give us a like and also maybe subscribe, as it really helps us out, and you'll get these videos twice a week. That's all I had to say. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!